First up, we've got some really interesting comments from Robert Whittaker about that incredible fight between Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Whittaker didn't hold back, guys. He straight up acknowledged that Ankalaev dominated, but he also pointed out how competitive this fight really was. Pereira had his moments too. Whittaker even admitted he wouldn't have been shocked if the judges had scored it for Pereira. That's how close it was. But in his personal opinion, Ankalaev did enough to secure the win. You know what's fascinating? Pereira claimed after the fight that Ankalaev didn't do much besides hold him against the cage. But Whittaker completely disagreed. He explained that controlling your opponent against the fence isn't some minor detail, it's crucial to winning fights. Even if you're not causing massive damage, controlling your opponent's positioning and limiting their ability to strike is huge in securing victory. Whittaker also touched on something we all know about Pereira, his unbelievable comeback ability. The man is seriously one of the most dangerous fighters in the division, but Ankalaev's relentless forward pressure was the key here. By constantly pushing Pereira backward and keeping him defensive, Ankalaev dictated the pace and prevented Pereira from finding his rhythm. In the end, Whittaker felt Ankalaev deserved the win, but acknowledged the fight was close enough that a Pereira victory wouldn't have shocked him. MMA judging can be so unpredictable sometimes, right? But in Whittaker's eyes, Ankalaev did what he needed to do to earn that victory. Guys, there's been so much buzz about this young fighter, Gonzalo Alexander Hernandez, who's reportedly being sent to train with Islam Makhachev in Dagestan for 2 to 3 years. This has everyone in the MMA community talking. The idea behind this move is brilliant but challenging. If you want to develop elite wrestling skills, there is absolutely no better place than Dagestan. This region has produced some of the most dominant grapplers in sports history. Dagestan is legendary as a breeding ground for elite wrestlers and MMA fighters. Their focus on discipline, endurance, and technique is unmatched. Their training combines freestyle wrestling and grappling that has shaped world-class fighters like Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, and so many others. These Dagestani fighters are famous for their relentless pressure, superior takedown skills, and ability to completely wear down opponents throughout a fight. For Gonzalo, training under Islam Makhachev himself is a massive opportunity. Training in Dagestan is widely regarded as one of the toughest but most effective ways to develop into an elite competitor. Fighters who train there don't just learn wrestling, they develop mental toughness, grit, and a relentless work ethic that defines these warriors. Someone familiar with Dagestan's training methods joked about how exhausting the daily sessions are, highlighting the extreme level of commitment and endurance needed just to survive in that environment. The training culture there is no joke. It pushes fighters to their absolute limits. If Gonzalo can endure this grind and come out stronger, he might very well become the next great fighter from this legendary Dagestani system. Oh man, Merab Dvalishvili had such an unforgettable moment at UFC Vegas when he ran into the legendary Georges St-Pierre. They shared an amazing conversation about Merab's historic achievement. He recently broke GSP's long-standing UFC takedown record. During his bantamweight title defense against Umar Nurmagomedov, Merab secured his 92nd career takedown, officially surpassing GSP's previous record of 90. What a milestone for Dvalishvili, proving his status as one of the most relentless and dominant wrestlers in the sport today. When GSP congratulated Merab, he didn't just acknowledge the number, he recognized the skill, tenacity, and relentless pressure that made it possible. GSP is widely regarded as one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, and has always been known for his wrestling dominance. Seeing Merab break his record is a testament to how this sport continues to evolve. For Merab, this was more than just stats. He expressed deep admiration for GSP, calling him the king of takedowns, and thanking him for everything he's done for the sport. It was such a powerful moment of mutual respect between a living legend and a rising icon. Meanwhile, Henry Cejudo has stirred up some real controversy with his latest fight prediction. He believes that Khamzat Chimaev will lose to Dricus du Plessis. Cejudo, a former Olympic gold medalist and UFC champion, has never been shy about his opinions. This time, he's questioning Chimaev's ability to last in a 5-round war. While Cejudo acknowledges Chimaev's explosiveness and his dominance in early rounds, he's skeptical about whether Chimaev can maintain that intensity over a full championship fight. He pointed out that du Plessis' relentless pace and ability to keep coming forward even when tired could be a major problem for Chimaev. Cejudo even compared du Plessis' style to Merab Dvalishvili, explaining that while it may not always look technically perfect, the sheer volume, pressure, and relentless cardio make it an absolute nightmare for opponents. In Cejudo's opinion, over 5 rounds, du Plessis' conditioning and unstoppable forward pressure could break Chimaev down and lead to his defeat. In another fascinating story, Leon Grave, a professional boxer and Jon Jones's main sparring partner, shared some eye-opening details about both Jones and Francis Ngannou. Grave, who has trained alongside Jones for striking, has also spent time working with Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight champion and current PFL superstar. He revealed an intense moment with Ngannou when they first met in the gym. According to Grave, when he walked in and saw Ngannou, he was immediately starstruck. Having followed Ngannou's career for years, he couldn't believe he was standing in front of this ferocious knockout artist. Wanting to share the moment with a friend, Grave took out his phone and recorded a quick video of Ngannou. But what happened next completely caught him off guard. Ngannou noticed immediately, and with a serious, intense look, he walked straight up to Grave, confronting him about why he was recording. The 6 feet 4 inches, 260-pound powerhouse had such a commanding presence that Grave admitted he was shaken. Ngannou's energy was intimidating, and for a moment, Grave thought he was in trouble. But once he explained it was just a harmless fan reaction, Ngannou immediately let it go, proving that despite his terrifying aura, he's a good guy at heart. However, the biggest revelation came when Grave spoke about Jon Jones's fear of fighting Ngannou. He claimed that while Jones has always been known for his unshakable confidence, there was one fighter who had ever made him nervous before, the late Anthony "Rumble" Johnson. But, according to Grave, Ngannou had Jones even more rattled. Grave revealed that Jones's anxiety about a potential showdown with Ngannou was undeniable. While Jones never said it outright, his body language and tone when discussing a fight with Ngannou made it clear he was greatly concerned. And when Ngannou left the UFC and Jones was booked against Cyril Gane instead, Grave noticed a shift in Jones's mood. He seemed visibly relieved. This revelation has ignited a wave of reactions, with many mocking Jones for allegedly avoiding the Ngannou matchup. Alex Pereira's performance against Magomed Ankalaev has been one of the most talked about topics in the MMA community. Although Pereira lost by majority decision, one of the most notable takeaways was his incredible takedown defense. Pereira successfully defended all 12 of Ankalaev's takedown attempts, which has led many to rethink the common narrative about his wrestling weaknesses. Former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen has been particularly vocal about this. Sonnen argued that Pereira's performance proved he is not an easy target for takedowns, and that his wrestling defense has significantly improved. He acknowledged that Jon Jones might still be able to take Pereira down and dominate him, but the days of Pereira being labeled as an easy fighter to control on the ground are seemingly over. Many fans and analysts now recognize that Pereira is much more well-rounded than previously thought, making him an even bigger threat in future matchups. Meanwhile, injury updates have also made headlines, particularly with Justin Gaethje revealing gruesome images of his damaged toes after his recent fight. Gaethje explained that the injuries were caused by dragging his feet on the canvas while throwing punches, leading to severe burns and cuts. The images showed the brutal extent of the damage, with Gaethje joking that being an ultimate fighter isn't for everyone. UFC veteran Michael Bisping reacted to the injury update, agreeing that canvas burns are among the most painful injuries and can make even the toughest fighters miserable. Despite the injury, Gaethje is expected to recover in time for his next fight. However, it remains uncertain who his next opponent will be. There's been talk of giving him a title shot, but with Islam Makhachev likely to face Ilia Topuria next, Gaethje might instead have to fight Arman Tsarukyan in the meantime. Finally, Firas Zahabi, the renowned head coach of TriStar Gym, offered his expert breakdown of Alex Pereira's performance against Magomed Ankalaev. Zahabi, known for his deep analytical approach to MMA, shared his thoughts on what went wrong for Pereira and how Ankalaev was able to control the fight. According to Zahabi, the fight wasn't the most thrilling contest, but it was clear that Ankalaev outstruck Pereira throughout. While many fans expected Pereira to find more success with his striking, Zahabi noted that he was unusually hesitant to throw his shots. The reason, he explained, was due to Pereira's awareness of the dangers he faced, not only from Ankalaev's striking, but also from his wrestling threats. Zahabi pointed out that Pereira's hesitation seemed to start after he got stunned in the first round. Normally, Pereira is a fearless, aggressive striker, but in this fight, he was much more cautious, possibly fearing a counterstrike or takedown attempt. This hesitation, Zahabi explained, played right into Ankalaev's hands, allowing him to dictate the pace and keep Pereira from getting comfortable. Despite this, Zahabi still believes in Pereira's striking ability. He emphasized that Pereira is one of the most dangerous strikers in the UFC, and if he can make the right adjustments, he could potentially win a rematch against Ankalaev. And here's some breaking news, everyone. Islam Makhachev has turned down a fight against Ilia Topuria. That's right, Makhachev has reportedly refused to accept a fight with the featherweight champion, saying that Topuria needs to earn a lightweight title shot before stepping into the octagon with him. A member of Islam's team spoke to a Russian news agency, confirming that Islam has not agreed to this fight, and that he stands firm on his position. Topuria must prove himself at 155 pounds before even thinking about a title shot. Now, Ilia Topuria has been hinting at something big recently, taking to social media to tease some major news. On X, he wrote, "When we announce it, you won't believe it. Get ready." So what could this mean? Is he still targeting a fight with Makhachev, or is he setting his sights on a different opponent? Maybe even another belt? Fans are already buzzing about this situation, with some saying Makhachev is avoiding Topuria, while others agree that Ilia still needs to prove himself in the lightweight division before jumping straight into a title fight. Let's not forget, Makhachev has been dominating at 155, defeating some of the toughest challengers in the division. He's not about to just hand over a title shot to someone who hasn't fought at lightweight yet. But then again, Topuria is on an unstoppable rise, coming off a devastating victory over Alexander Volkanovski. He's got the power, the speed, and the confidence to shake up the division, and he's making it clear he wants big fights only. So what's next for Ilia Topuria if he's not fighting Makhachev? Who will he take on? Could it be Dustin Poirier? Maybe Charles Oliveira? Or could there be a super fight in the works that we never saw coming? The MMA world continues to buzz with excitement and debate. From Whitaker's analysis of Ankalaev's win to Zahabi's breakdown of Pereira's struggles, fans and analysts alike are deep in discussion about what's next for these fighters. As always, the world of MMA continues to deliver compelling narratives, proving once again why it remains one of the most unpredictable and exciting sports in the world.